Okay, let's get started.
Candace LeBlanc says wanted to have the best situation of all US trade partners.
Welcome everyone to the Pro Trade Room Plus. We're here for the gold volatility trade and the market opens. My name is Lee Goldstein, the trading director for 10-minute trades. Please remember, all the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. Okay, let's get started this morning. So we're here first for the gold volatility trades. So a couple of things to remember. We have two setups. The bracket has not been working well, and I'll still trade it, but my gut feeling really is to just trade the trap until we see the bracket breakout start working better. The thing to remember is we're using two charts that have the same instrument for two different setups if you decide you want to trade both setups. So in the control panel, because we label every setup, you have to have a way where your strategies are differentiated from each other on the different charts. So for instance, the breakout trade hasn't been working very well at all for 2 or 3 weeks. So I'll trade that in my eval account, and before the name of the strategy, I'll put the number of the eval. That'll differentiate my setup from the other chart setup, which will just have a normal name. I'll explain it as I go through it. All right. So let's set up the trades first. That's what we'll do. So if you're going to trade both, then you need two micro gold charts, MGC 1226. Obviously, it's up to you if you want to trade full size gold. It's much more risk, much more profit. So that's everybody makes their own risk decisions. I don't tell anybody what to do when it comes to risk. There's a lot of trades in the morning, so it's really totally up to the individual trader which setups they're going to trade, which reports, which events. Nobody should be trading everything because you can't manage all those setups. Okay? Choose one or two setups to trade and stick with those every morning. Now, the gold volatility trade, that's a separate trade from the open. It's earlier than the open. We're going to trade at 9 o'clock, half hour before the open. Okay, on my left chart, I'm going to set up my trap trade. Yesterday was the first day the trap trade didn't work, possibly. Since we started trading it, that's what Nitin said. The trap trade's usually extremely reliable on gold at 9 o'clock. So one trade that doesn't work, you don't even think that seriously about it. Yes, of course you think about it. It didn't work, but if you get two or three in a row that don't work, then you start thinking, well, is something going on? But one trade that doesn't work, that's life. That's how things go. On every single chart, I put a reverse continuation strategy and I put a magnet strategy. Every single chart. That's what I do. Why? So if I get a signal from the magnet and I want to take it, I can take it. That's the reason I do that. I can take the signal trade using my reverse continuation
Canada's LeBlanc
buttons,
says the government
instant
intention
long
to
or
announce
instant short,
retaliatory tariffs.
that show up on the chart. So first thing I do, put the reverse continue on the gold chart on the left, click strategies, click news trader. Then you're going to change
So LeBlanc further says that
your
they intend to
breakout
announce
trade
retaliatory tariffs today.
from breakout to reverse continue up at the top, the trade type. Default is breakout. I'm changing it to reverse continue. Micro gold, I trade 2 contracts, 1 position, 50 tick target 1, 50 tick stop. That's my scalp on micro gold. I choose the account I'm trading in. Trap trade's going to be on the left. I will trade that in my funded account, and I label the trade MGC reverse continue. Apply it. If you're done, then you press OK. If you're going to add another setup to the chart, add the setup before you press OK. So I am
And
going
that
to add a
concludes Camille
magnet to the
LeBlanc's
chart.
interview on
So I
CNBC.
double click magnet. It shows up under configured. Make sure it's not enabled if you've been doing things before you got here. So my magnet setup, keep in mind that when you put a reverse continue on the chart, that's generally how most people are going to trade their signals. That's how you're going to trade your scalps. You can also trade from inside the magnet strategy, but you don't have to. And for now, we're going to do it the easy, short, simpler way by just using the reverse continue and not programming all the setups on the magnet right now. We are going to do a minimal amount of programming on the magnet so that if you do press a button by accident, it won't screw you up. So there are defaults that everybody should have on their magnet strategy. With gold, micro gold, the orders are off to start. Orders are your magnet trade enabled is going to say off. I use 2 contracts, 1 position, 50 tick stop. Everything else down to trending bars, aftershock reversal trending bars. I use trending bars on 2. That's the filtering I use. 1 or 2 is fine. Generally in the mornings these days I've been using 2. ARS management, that's the signal button. It's good to do position 1, 35 target, 35 stop. Reverse continue, position 1 is a 1, 35 stop, 35 target. To make that default, you can label that generic magnet. Generic magnet. Put the account on SIM. Go to template, click apply. Go to template and save it. Generic magnet. Then every morning, instead of typing everything in, you can load your generic magnet template and modify it as per the trade. Save it. I would date it, generic magnet, today's date. I'll go over it one more time and then we'll go to the setup. So my generic magnet, off on enabled, default, position size 2, targets stay the same, -3, 0, -3, stop is 50. Everything else is default until you get down to aftershock reversal, trending bars 2, ARS management, position size 1 is a 1, target 1 is 35, stop is 35. In the new version, you'll never have to do this again. We've already preset it with the correct defaults. Reverse continue, position 1 is a 1, stop 35, target 35. And this is really not even necessary to do. Label it generic magnet, click apply, click template, click save, generic magnet, date it. All right. So you have a generic magnet. Now, make believe you just woke up, you loaded your chart, you brought in your generic magnet by going to the template, you clicked load, generic magnet, you loaded it in, the correct one, and now we're going to modify it for today's gold trade. Just double check it. High of day orders are off, magnet trade enabled is off, position is 2, position 1, stop is 50. We're just double checking it. It should be already set. Stop is 50. Everything else just check default. Your target ARS management was 35. Stop 35 is fine. Reverse continue has one position. 35 and 35 on the target and stop. That's fine. Remember, we're probably not using the buttons anyway. But if you accidentally press one, this prevents you from immediately being stopped out. Generic magnet is the label, and the account is SIM. We're going to change the account to the account we're trading our trap trade this morning. If I purposely hit a button, I want to be in a trade. All right. The ARS management, that controls a signal trade. The signal button, ARS, enter now. The reverse continue setup controls the reverse continue long, reverse continue short button on the magnet control center, control panel. So I'm trading. I'll also name it an MGC magnet. It's not generic anymore. MGC magnet. Apply it. Now I have two setups on my chart, the magnet and the reverse continue. I'm adding my trap trade for the real trade now. So I double click trap trade. It shows up in configured. I'm going to load my template and I'll explain the exact trap trade setup for 9 o'clock. What do we call it? Gold. My name. We're going to right click any setup every day you trade it and rename it for today's date. Every setup should have a date. Gold 9 a.m. trap trade, 8:25:26. When you load it, it saves it. All right, our trap trade. Position 1 is a 1. Position 2 is a 1. Activate entry, 8:59:55. Our orders go on the chart. Our stop is 40. Tier 1 is 35. Tier 2 is 60. The account is the funded account I'm trading it in. Label it Trap MGC. Apply it. Now we are done, but I'm not going to hit OK yet. I want to just explain what the trap trade is. A trap trade is a 2 orders above the price, 2 orders below the current price. If the market goes up, we go short, we sell. If the market goes down, we buy. The tiers are the brackets. 35 ticks above current price, 60 ticks above current price, and our stop is 40. When you add tier 2 plus the stop, we call that our zone of safety. If there's a burst at the time of the event, in this case 9 o'clock, and that burst is greater than 60 plus 40, we'll get immediately stopped out because that's where our stop is going to be, 100 ticks away from the current price. It's highly unlikely that's going to happen. We check these trap trades over and over to make sure that doesn't happen. So tier 2 plus the stop is our zone of safety. An event would have to move 100 ticks for the trap trade to get immediately stopped. It could do what it did yesterday and just trend up, 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 up. That happens. No trade works all the time. All right, so we have our trap trade entered. Position 1 is a 1. That's how many contracts for each order. Position 2 is a 1. Those are our two orders. The stop is 40. Our orders show up on the chart when we activate them at 8:59:55. Tier 1 35, Tier 2 60. Choose the account, label it Trap MGC, apply it, OK it. Make sure your chart trader is on the correct account. And you might want to spread your chart just a little bit. Now, the trap trade gets enabled first in the control panel. You turn that button, check the button, and then look at the top of your trading chart and make sure you see the cancel outer tier button. Just make sure you see that button. If you don't, your chart is too narrow. You need to widen it. Then we turn on our magnet, MGC magnet, and then I turn on my MGC reverse continue. On my middle chart, we have a reverse continue and a magnet. It's the same type of chart, MGC. So remember what I said before, you have to name it with the account number before the name of the setup. So very simply. So if I have a reverse continue on this chart, right, it's a gold reverse continue, exactly the same as the other chart. Position 1 is a 2, target 1 is a 50, the stop is a 50. Make sure the trade type says reverse continue. You get that on the chart by double clicking News Trader first. Change the trade type from breakout to reverse continue. Position 1 is a 2, target 1 is 50, stop is 50. Scroll all the way down to the label. I'm trading in account number 43, so 43 MGC reverse continue. That's what I mean by putting the account number in your setup. And my account is on 43. Apply it, and then I'm going to add the magnet. Double click magnet. It'll appear under configured. Two contracts, one position. 50 on the stop. Everything else is default. I'm not programming any of the extra stuff. All right. If you wanted to load in your generic magnet, you can.
Just a reminder, 10 minutes
Account,
expecting the US case
same account, 43, and I'm going to make sure it's
1.2%,
labeled
1.6%,
43
US house price index
MGC
month-on-month
magnet.
forecast 0.2%,
Apply it.
prior 0.4%.
And then we have our breakout. So
US house
click
price
News
index
Trader.
year-on-year prior 2.2%.
Scroll all the way to the top.
Reminder, 5 minutes
Breakout trade. The time of the trade.
7.6%.
Activation is 8:59:55. I'm going to load my template in, and I'll go over the setup. Template, load. We call this gold 9 a.m. It's got my initials in it, so I know it's the right template. Let's find it. It's in here somewhere. There it is. I'm going to right click it, rename it with today's date in the name. Today's the 25th, not the 24th. Load it. That saves it also. 8:59:55 is our trigger time. That's when the orders show up on the chart. The bracket, 15 ticks. Position 1 is a 1. Position 2 is a 1. Target 1, I'm going to go 15 today. Target 2 is 35. The stop is 30. Target 1 stop move is BE for break even. Going to scroll down. Label it 43, the name of your number of your account, MGC breakout. I put 9 a.m. on it, but whatever you need to do, just make sure it's got a different name than all the other setups. So if you have to cancel it, you know which one to cancel. I'm going to leave it in a SIM account for the moment. The account setup is on SIM because I'm going to check the bracket, the width of the bracket for the breakout trade. How wide is it? Is it going to allow me to trade comfortably without the brackets being too scrunched up? So to do that, I want to trigger the brackets right now. Normally we trigger the brackets at 8:59:55. But what do I do if I want to trigger them now? I set the time to 0. If the software thinks 0, the time has passed because there is no 0 time, the time automatically has passed, it'll trigger our brackets as soon as there's price movement. Sometimes people get confused. It doesn't trigger immediately. There has to be price movement first so the software can calculate the bracket. Sometimes the market's not volatile and it doesn't move for a couple of seconds. That's nothing to worry about. So I'm setting the time to 0, apply it and OK it. I put my software on sim and I can check it in the account display name. Put my chart trader on sim so I see the brackets. Spread the chart a little bit so it's not too tight. And now when I turn on my 43 account breakout, by enabling it, I'll see the brackets.
Order submitted.
Now, they're not too wide to trade and they're not too tight. Perfect. And everybody does it
Order
differently.
canceled.
You don't have to do it the exact way that I do it. Then I uncheck our setup, right click the chart, go back to strategies, highlight the breakout, put the time back to 8:59:55, and you can double check and you can double check your bracket. I just became German for a second. You can check the bracket. It's 15. Target 1 is 15. Target 2 is 35. Position 1 is a 1. Position 2 is a 1. Go all the way down to the account. Now we're going to put the account on the actual account we're trading, our eval, number 43. And then make sure your label's correct. 43 MGC breakout. Apply it. OK it. Put the chart trader on 43 so I see and manage the trade.
Surely expecting US
Turn
market
it
to run
on.
here.
So I'm going to turn on the breakout first. Main trade always gets turned on first. Then I turn on my magnet. And then I turn on my reverse continue. You can double check yourself. This control panel is very important. Control center, control panel. The strategy name
9.1%,
appears on the left.
9.1%.
If you hold
So
your
right now,
left
buying
mouse
XLM,
button
expecting
down,
USK Schiller 20
when you
year
get that
move,
little
forecast
arrow,
at
you can
1.8%,
widen
power
your columns
1.6%.
so you
US
can
house price
read it.
index month on
Okay.
month forecast 0.2%,
Same thing is true. The
prior
account
0.3%,
display name
and
is
US
very
house price
important
index year on
because
year,
we
prior
use all these
3.2%.
setups, right? You want to be able to see your account display name. Make sure you're trading the right account on the right chart trader, right? So look, my breakout at 9 a.m. in account number 43 is in fact on account 43. It shows me. It has to match. My trap is on account 611. Is my chart trader on 611 here? I can hover over the account or I can physically look at it. It's on 611. So you can check, make sure you haven't screwed anything up, right? I have my RTY chart on the right as we get ready for the open, but I'm going to try to keep things simple today, as simple as possible. So right now, we're concerned with two setups. The trap trade on the left, all right, you get that different icon, and our breakout in the middle. The breakout's been lousy, so anybody that doesn't want to trade the breakout, feel free to just trade it in sim. I'll trade it in my eval. My eval is not anywhere near blown. In fact, it's almost up 1,000. It's not doing too terribly. I have a 67 funded account that's actually doing way better than it had been doing. I've done serious damage to my favorite and best funded account, which is on the verge of being liquidated because of scalping I did all by myself on Friday, not in the room. Don't ask me why, but we all do it. Dumb trading. That's 69. That has been a payoff account. So I'm trying to keep that saved. 611 is growing very nicely as a funded account. And then 612 has never been above water. This is a funded account. This is a mini account. It's half the size of all my others. So I trade it super carefully. The first day I traded that account, every single trade I took in that account got stopped out for like a week. Every single trade. I didn't blow the account. I didn't even come near blowing it, but it's never been positive since day one. It is starting to trade better. I'm starting to trade better in that account. 4 funded accounts for me is too many. I don't use a trade copier. It's just my choice. I don't like trading that way. Everybody has their own choices that they make. There's no one way to do everything right with trading. It's like, what would you compare it to? It's like a relationship. No relationship is the same. You might have 5 different people in your life, 5 different relationships, 5 different setups. All the setups are different. Risk is different. Each account is different. The key, the important things, try to trade the best events
One
in
minute
your best
remaining. We're dealing
accounts.
with USK Schiller 20.
Trade
USD.
your most risky events in your evals. That's what evals are for. If you have more than one. If you only have one account and you don't have a lot of money or very little money to do this and you can only afford
US
one
effective Fed
eval,
funds rate
then
unchanged
you
at
must trade that
3.68%.
eval best of the best only because you don't want to blow it. So 9, we have 30 seconds, 5 seconds before the market, before 9 o'clock, our trap trade orders will show up. Our breakout orders will show up a couple of seconds after that. And then you'll see the market will get more volatile. Just that's why we're doing these trades, because at 9 o'clock,
10 seconds.
the gold market gets busier than it
Order
just was.
submitted.
There's our orders. Here's the breakout. Watching the breakout.
2 spot 1%, 2 spot 1%, higher than the forecast of 1 spot 8%. US house price index month on month 0%, 0%,
Order
lower than
submitted.
forecast of 0 spot 2%. US house price
Now,
index
I
Order
month on
prefer,
month
see, it
canceled.
0
hit my
3%,
first
2 spot
target. I'm
3%.
expanding and trailing. I'm expanding my target. I'm glad we
Order
got
filled.
filled short. The trap trade got filled. I want this trade now to
See primary
reverse.
vision for USK
Not for
Schiller
the trap trade to
1.65%
blow up
compared to the
again.
original prior of
All right? I don't want
1.63%.
this trap trade to blow up again. I want this trade to reverse now. I'm going to expand
So
my
Apple,
stop by about
Apple
13
introduces the
ticks.
M6 and M5
But I
Ultra
can't
and
believe
introduces new Mac
it looks
Studio,
like we're going
M5
to.
Max
I'm
and
not
M5
going to
Ultra.
say it's
Order
definitive.
filled.
The breakout was perfect. Now, can we survive this trap, or are we going to get stopped 2 days in a row on the trap? Hard to believe. But when you get a move like that, that's very, very worrisome. I'm going to shrink my orders. We're getting a reversal. Both orders were filled. I'm going to shrink my stop a little bit. I want to see the price go into profitability here. That's what
ECB
I'd
says
like
forex
to
reserves
see.
rose 900 million euros to 349.3
Gold is
billion euros.
negative,
ECB settled
right? Gold is negative.
217.9 billion corporate euro bond
So I'm
purchases,
not
with
loving the
ECB bond
fact
holdings under PEP
that gold is
1.29 trillion
negative.
euros as of last week. The ECB settled
I did make money.
1.669
If I remember
trillion
correctly, the
public sector
gold
bond
open,
purchases.
I had a small winner to the long side. A small winner. Now, we're only trading
Apple
2
say
contracts.
M5 Max and M5 Ultra, Apple's
Micros.
most
It's not going
powerful
to
cell
blow
phone
up
ever.
my account, but I would like to see it give us a good reversal. At least get close. Now, I did shrink that stop, so I'm going to just expand it another 10 ticks. I'd like to survive. I'd like to survive. We usually give this trade. It usually ends within 4 to 5 minutes. I'm going to
Order
let it stop
canceled.
because it just didn't work. Gold, is just moving too strongly to the downside. It's being pushed to the low for
Very
whatever
close to your
reason.
case, so we're
I
talking
don't really
between the
see
40 and
news.
50 for those interested.
Today, the breakout was perfect. The trap, again, it just moved too much for our setup. Now, these are extremely random trades that are very subject to changing because we're only trading gold volatility. It's not news. And the way gold starts responding at 9 o'clock can be completely different all of a sudden. And there would be nothing you could do about it. It would just change. If we were trading an actual news event, it's a little bit easier to look at what's going on and say, okay, well, the news was this or the news was that. That's why it's changing. In this case, it's a very random trade. It's just based on volatility, random volatility at a certain time. Now, look, two trades in a row didn't work. That gets my radar up a little bit. I would still trade it again. Not sure I would change any setups yet. Our brackets, our tiers are pretty big for this time of day. If you make them too big, the trade's not going to have any chance of reversing into a profit. Now, I still think it's possible this is going to reverse, but I'm done trading gold right now this morning because we're going to go to our normal opens now. Sometimes the trade doesn't work. Look, it worked beautifully on the breakout. It didn't work on the trap. It's the reverse of what's been happening last week. All right. This is a new development on this trade. Now look at it. Watch it reverse 8 million ticks. Nevertheless, our stop was quite big. It was 100 ticks. If you get inconsistency in a trap trade where you get 120 tick moves and 60 tick moves, that's when it's very hard to have a trap trade setup because the move at the time you're trading is too inconsistent. Okay. All right. What I'm going to do is take off my gold trades for the moment. So I made an extra chart in the middle. So I'm going to turn everything off for the moment. Everything's going to get turned off. This chart is an extra chart. I don't need it. I copied a chart. I don't need it. I'm Xing it. In the middle, I already created a YM chart for the opens. On the left chart, turn that into an MNQ chart. MNQ or NQ, whichever you prefer. 0926. Good morning, Kenny. MNQ was very bullish. It's been doing some interesting selling off. Did it test the high? No. It looked like it was going to test the high and didn't. All right. First things first. YM space 0926 in the middle. Put a reverse continue on that chart. Strategy, double click it, news trader. Change your breakout to a reverse continue. Number of contracts is up to you. Target I use is 40. Stop I use is 40. Label it YM reverse continue. Choose the account you're trading it in. I trade my YM magnets and opens right now in my eval. Apply it, and I have my reverse continue. The YM magnet. Double click the magnet strategy. It shows up under configured. Here's how you set up the YM magnet. This is important. Magnet trade, high of day, low of day. Position size 1, I use 1 contract. Target 1, -3. Position size 2, I use 1. Target 2 is a 15. Stop is a 40. Everything else is default. Label, YM Magnet. Choose the account you're trading it in. Apply it. Okay it. All right, so we have a YM Magnet, YM Reverse Continue. Remember, we also have a YM Range Trade. I'm going to right click, Strategies, double click News Trader, change your breakout up top trade type to a range trade. If we go from top to bottom, the end of the range is 930.00. 930.00. That's when the range ends. Position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1. Target 1 is 10, target 2 is 20. Target 1 stop move, I go to BE. You don't have to move your stop at all if you hit your first target. That's my choice. That's my management choice. It's not required. You don't have to do it. Why do I do it? If I hit my first target and make money, moving the stop to break even protects that profit. Almost always. But it might reverse and hit that stop and then go back in the direction you want it to, cutting off some profits. That's the trade-off. There's no way to do it perfectly every time. Sometimes it'll save a trade from being a loser. Sometimes it'll give up a little bit of profit. Ideally, if you're only trading 1 or 2 setups, you can manage your trade physically. And if you have the opportunity to move your stops and targets for more profit, you do it. Target 1 stop move BE and the stop 35. Scroll down. The range starts at 925.00.
Open space for Iran US talks.
6 ticks above the range, 6 ticks below the range, and then check, show the range graphics on chart. So it actually draws the range and you see it. It will still trade a range trade. You just won't see it if you don't check that. Label it YM open range or YM range open and choose the account you're trading it in. Apply it and save your template. Go to template, save, YM, start typing YM open, range open, date it today, save it. And now when you come in tomorrow, you can find the way you traded the YM range and you don't have to reset it up. You just load it in. Now we can okay everything and our YM is all set up. We don't use, I turn on the magnet first. YM magnets is the first thing I look for at the open. Just because that's what I do. But the range trade is very good. You could use the range trade if you prefer, but then never turn the magnet into auto because it'll interfere with the range trade. The range trade calculates a 5-minute range starting at 9:25 to 9:30. At 9:30, it puts the orders on the chart above and below the range that's been calculated for 5 minutes. My YM orders this morning,
Iran's conditions include
if I hit 80, I'll go long. It's not going to go short today. We're too far away. I'll just leave it where it is at 53. It could go short, highly unlikely that we're going to get a short open. I'm going to make sure my chart is on account 43. All right. And I can turn on my YM magnet, which is on, so I see the control center. High of day, low of day is on. All right. And I can turn on my YM reverse continue. If I don't want to trade the magnet, if I want to make a magnet trade automatic, I press the magnet entry button and turn it purple. Now, when it goes through the order line, it'll fill the trade automatically. If it's not on automatic, I could just watch it. When it hits the order line, it'll blink purple, and I can press the button, and it'll put me in the trade. If you just want to trade the range and watch the magnets, fine, turn on your range by enabling it. But don't do them both at the same time of the orders going on the chart, or it'll screw up. You can't trade two setups in the same account with the same instrument at the same time. Okay, don't forget that. MNQ, left chart, MNQ. Right click the chart, click strategies. We had a gold trap on that chart, remove it if it's there. We had a gold magnet, highlight it, we'll turn it into an MNQ magnet. Usually, I leave the orders off until my trades are over on the MNQ. Normally we have two MNQ setups that we take every morning. The 9:25 pre-open and our 9:30 open. Today we also have consumer confidence at 10 o'clock. I certainly won't forget about it. Right now my high of day orders, they're off. Position size 1 is 2 contracts. On the MNQ, I use 100 stop. It's only 50 cents a tick. It's $50. Go all the way down. MNQ magnet is my label. And the account I'm trading the MNQ is that 611 account that got stopped on the trap. We'll try and get that money back on our MNQ trades. So I'll apply it. We have our we have our magnet. Click News Trader, double click it, change the breakout up top to reverse continue. If you have a reverse continue on the chart from a previous setup, modify it for the MNQ. I like to scalp one position. You don't have to do everything the way I do. There's certain things, targets and stops on certain trades you want to do what I do. But scalps, discretionary trades, you don't have to do exactly what I do. Position 1, I use 2 contracts for an MNQ reverse continue, 100 target and 100 stop.
Treasury yields extended.
I go all the way down, label it MNQ reverse continue, and I'm in account 611, apply it. And now my main 2 trades that I need. All right, the pre-market open. I'm definitely trading at 9:25. Click News Trader. I'm going to load my pre-market open trade. And we just call it pre-market open. It's in here somewhere. All right. Right click it, rename it with today's date. Today's the 25th. Pre-MNQ open. Load it. All right. So what's our trade? It's a breakout trade. We're going to trigger at 9:24.59. The bracket's 30. It's a 3-position trade. Position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1, position 3 is a 1. Target 1 is 20, target 2 is 35, target 3 is 65. My stop is 50, and my target 1 stop move is BE. I'll set the time to 0 because I'm going to check the bracket, but we'll go back and change it back. Now I'll just scroll down and make sure it's labeled pre-MNQ. Leave it on sim to test the bracket, apply it and OK it. Chart traders put on sim, spread the chart a little bit, turn on the pre-MNQ to look at the bracket.
Order submitted.
Looks good for a breakout.
Order canceled.
Uncheck it, right click the chart, highlight strategies again, highlight the breakout, put the time back to the correct time, 9:24.59. Scroll down to the account, put it on the account I'm trading, apply it. I would OK it if I'm done. I'm going to load my 9:30 breakout in. Click News Trader one more time. So I have 4
Voice queues
setups
disconnected.
on the NQ. Doesn't mean I'm using them all at once or ever. I'm going to look for my template. MNQ new at 9:30. MNQ new open. Right click it. Rename it today 8:25. Load it. Remember, loading it saves it. I'm not going to change the time or do anything. It triggers at 9:24:59. The bracket's 30. Target 1 is 20. Target 2 is 100. My stop is 125. And my target 1 stop move is BE. It's labeled breakout MNQ open. And I'll put it on the chart account I'm trading. Apply it and OK it. Put my chart trader on the chart I'm trading, and my MNQ is all set. I'll configure that 9:30 trade after our 9:25 trade. The rules are the 9:25 trade, unless it's a giant winner, winning, you exit before the 9:30 trade. So I should have a minute or so to configure my 9:30 trade. If I don't, it's set up. I'll just make sure the chart's wide enough, and I can see the brackets. It's not a problem. So now I'm going to turn on my pre-market open MNQ first, my MNQ magnet, and my MNQ reverse continue. Make sure the clock's out of the way. And let's quickly get our RTY set up. All right. Now, I made a mistake, right? What did I do? I put my breakout MNQ open. I want my pre-open. So I'm going to turn everything off. I want my main trade turned on first, pre-MNQ. That's so the adjust button is close to current price. This trade is too fast to press the adjust button, but other trades you might want to sometimes press the adjust button, which recenters brackets. We'll get into that at a later time. It's not really applicable right now. But you want to do things in the right orders, the right way all the time so you create good habits. Right-click the RTY chart. Load our range trade first, so News Trader. I'll load the template. It's exactly the same as the YM range trade. You could load your YM range and modify it, right? That'd be a quick way to do it if you saved a template. I have a template for the RTY. Just gotta find it. Too many templates. Right click it, rename it today, the 25th. Load it. And it's the exact same range trade as the YM. So make sure if you don't have a template, you double click News Trader. Change the breakout to a range trade. Range ends at 9:30.00. Position 1 is a 1. Position 2 is a 1. Target 1 is 10. Target 2 is 20. Target 1 stop move BE. Stop is 35. Go all the way down. Label it RTY range. Choose the account you're trading. All right. I trade this in a funded account. Apply it. I'm going to put on my reverse continue. Double click News Trader. All the way at the top, change the breakout to a reverse continue. Position 1's a 1. Target 1's 35. My stop is 35. All the way down to the label it RTY, reverse continue. Put it on the account I'm trading on. Apply it. Okay it. Make sure my chart trader's on that account. I had a tiny little scalp this morning. It is on the right account. Turn on the range. Turn on the RTY reverse continue. So my RTY is ready. Usually I like to look at magnets on the RTY. So I'll put a magnet on the RTY. Right click, click strategies, double click magnet. You don't have to do anything to it. If you want to change the stop to a 35, you can, but I'm just looking at signals. So really all you have to do is just label it RTY magnet. That's all you need to do to look at the signals. It'll generate signals. I do put it on the account I'm trading, apply it. It's labeled RTY magnet, okay it, and you can turn it on to watch signals, should you want to. See, you might have had a signal. All right, pay attention. Furthest left chart, MNQ. We're going to start trading at 9:25. Yesterday, if you were here, I had frozen orders at 9:30. It ruined a whole bunch of my trades. It seems to happen to me more than anyone else. I'm streaming on YouTube. I'm streaming the trade room charts. I'm recording this. I'm trading every setup. I'm in communication with our programmer to do a very deep dive on what might be causing the problem. If there's anything we can do in software to help, but most probably it's just I'm just doing too much on this machine, and I may have to modify the way I trade the market open. I don't want frozen orders. I want to get paid just like you want to get paid, right? And it damages accounts when that happens. So I'm waiting to hear back from him. I sent him a very extensive email just going over, looking at the software, looking at my resources, lots of different things. And I also need to get another prop account, not Bullinox, not knocking Bullinox, but need a Tradevate account, which I haven't had in a while, to compare whether Tradevate does any better than Rhythmic. We used to think Tradevate was better, but I haven't had a Tradevate account in a while, so we're going to get our breakout right
Order
now.
submitted. Order submitted.
All right, it popped up. If we get follow through, we'll have a winning trade. If it doesn't follow through, we won't.
Order filled.
Hit the first target. I'm not doing anything. If it pulls back, that's life in the fast lane. I might trail if it hits my second target or if it gets real close. Like I could trail right now if I wanted to. I'm at my first target.
Order filled.
I'm trailing to the first target. Now, I'm going to trail as it heads up. So if it pulls back, I'm willing to accept that. But I'm expanding my final target also. If it keeps going, I'm going to make more. All right. If it pulls back, I've made 2 full targets.
Order filled.
All right. So I've made 2 full targets. That trade is over. It worked very nicely. Full size NQ, if you traded that and it moved similarly, that would be a nice little winner. All right.
According to GT,
I'm going to
China experts say
remove
US
my
tariffs cannot fix productivity gaps.
pre-MNQ trade. I'm going to remove it. I don't need that setup anymore. I used it. Right click, remove it. Now, I'm an idiot. I didn't mean to remove that one. I removed my MNQ one. Pre is what I'm removing. It's okay. I need my 930 setup, so I'm going to grab it. That's why I have templates. News Trader, template, load my 930 setup, because I trade that 930 setup. I'll still trade it this morning, even though I haven't fixed any possible problems. Because we've been doing this for 6 months, it doesn't freeze all that often. I just hate it when it does. All right, here's our template for the 930 open. It's a breakout, 929.59. I'm going to set it to 0. See if we can check our brackets. We got 3 minutes. But the trigger time is 929.59, 30 on the bracket. Target 1 is 20. Target 2 is 100. Stop is 125. Target 1 stop move is BE. Label it, breakout MNQ open, apply it, okay it. Putting the chart trader on sim so I can test my brackets real quick.
Order
Now it doesn't
filled.
matter that it filled my trade. Okay, it's in sim. That's the perfect reason why you
Order
do it in
submitted.
sim. Those
Order
brackets
canceled.
are big enough. It just was a monstrous burst down. I'm not concerned about that. That was sim. That's why you test your brackets in sim. I would have had a winning trade, but it could have easily have been a loser. All right. Putting the time back to 9:29. That's the first time that's happened, I think, in 3 months. It's very rare that we get filled on a test of the bracket. 9:29.59 and our bracket is 30. I'm not changing anything. Putting my account on the account I'm trading the market open, apply it, okay it. Put the chart trader on that. Turn on the trade. All right. You got to make a decision now. You're going to trade the YM magnets or you're going to trade the YM range trade. I'm going to trade the YM magnet, turning it on for a test of the high. I could trade the range, and if it doesn't test the high, then trade the test of the high. Let's do that. That's kind of fun. Turn off the magnet, but leave the
1
magnet
minute
on, and
remaining
I'll
for the
turn
market
on
open
my
imbalance.
range. So I'll trade the YM range first. Let's see how it works. My RTY range is going to trade, and my MNQs, and hopefully everything will work perfectly. It usually does. Mitten trades both. You can trade both if they don't interfere with each other or in a separate account. Two different accounts. Not one person has said a word on YouTube. Will you please? Not now, it's market open. Somebody say hello on YouTube, please.
10 seconds.
Watching RTY, because
Order
that's a
sub order
funded
order
account.
order submitted.
Market on open imbalance. S&P
RTY has
500
been
filled.
sell
getting
side 53
killed,
million. Nasdaq 100 sell
unfortunately.
side 4 million. Dow
RTY
30 sell side 38 million. Mag 7 buy side 3
YM
million.
looked like it did the same thing as the RTY. We got a false move to the wrong side, and then it changed direction. YM. Now, do you want to turn off your range? Turn off your range. And do you still want to trade the magnet? I noticed that our MNQ hit the first target and reversed. Most of my contracts are on the first target. So I made money on the MNQ. Now, my RTY, here's what's insane, folks. If you don't pay attention, full transparency, I'm an honest person. My RTY was left in a trade, and that trade is very negative because it was left in a short, left in a long. That's in a long trade. So the question is, do I just close this trade out, which I can do very easily by right-clicking, flatten everything. It'll kind of flatten all my setups.
Google selects resolve
But right now
AI
it's going
proprietary
up. I'm
distributed
watching my
database tag.
unrealized profits. I know I'm in a trade even though there's no orders. I'm not going to reboot my platform or do anything of the sort. I'm going to see if the RTY continues up. Right now the NQ, MNQ, is pushing more up than down. Right? So I would put my MNQ, high of day, low of day orders on. If the MNQ decides to test the high, I'll turn my magnet on. I would like to see the YM push up because that would help the RTY. I don't want to exit this RTY unless it breaks these lows. If it breaks these lows, that account is going to be toast.
Trump on True Social says North Korea has been unthreatening and
But if you
respectful.
didn't pay attention, you wouldn't have even, might not have even noticed that you got left in a trade. And it was a super fast. I watched that open. It was very fast. And look, we've had a little bit of bad luck that things that don't hardly ever happen have happened in the past 2 days. It's like the gods are saying all new members are going to quit. It's not the norm. It's not the norm that these things happen. So maybe it's for the best that the craziest things have happened first. But the big issue here is I know I'm in a trade and it's not going well because I can see it. And if the RTY doesn't change to the upside, that account's gonna really suffer. I think that account's gonna be liquidated. That's what I think. That's why I'm not closing it. I think it's gone. If I close it, I believe it's gone. So I'm gonna look for a little bit of luck with a change in direction, or it'll just liquidate when it keeps going down. The MNQ is so bullish, and even the RTY is more bullish than bearish. It's not bearish. It's positive from 6 p.m. So we need a miracle. I need the price to go up past the range. Our YM, we know the YM didn't work because that account was flat. We hadn't used it, right? And the YM, it was negative. I didn't watch the trade. I didn't see it, but I know that that range trade did not work. Had we not traded the range on the YM, we would have no fill this morning on the YM. Now I'm watching the MNQ. It's hard to believe it's going to go test the high with the other instruments so negative. I mean, it really looks like the YM is going to test the low if it does anything. Now we do have consumer confidence we have to get ready for. I'm just thinking if I want to take a short in the YM. YM looks like it's going to test the low. Take the short before it gets to the low.
Order submitted.
So I'm turning off my magnet, turning it to off. See if we get a halfway test to the low. That's all I'm looking for is a halfway test. And then MNQ I'm going to turn off. I'm going to get that chart ready for consumer confidence. So I'm going to turn off all my MNQs for the moment. MNQ off, off, off. I'm going to remove my MNQs. That's why you label them. You couldn't do this if you didn't label them. You'd remove the wrong things, okay? You'd remove the wrong things. Now the RTY, I don't think there's any hope that this is going to save. Like I said, I know that if I exit this, there's no hope if I exit. It's over. It's over. It's over anyway. It's absolutely over. I'm going to stay in that RTY trade until it either ends it on its own, even through consumer confidence. If some reason consumer confidence pushes the price up, that's the only thing that might save this account. Right now, I'm just thinking, what could I do to save this account? I know if I close it, it's going to calculate my loss and terminate it. So that's why I'm leaving it alone. YM, our scalp, might have been wrong. I'm not taking a big risk. It's an eval, so if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. We'll get ready. If that
Order
gets stopped,
filled.
so that got stopped, let's get ready for consumer confidence. So turn off our YM, turn off the YM. We're going to start from scratch. All right, let's look at our consumer confidence setup. We have a DMM for it. We have a daily trade report. This has been an extremely difficult report to trade over the past 6 months. It just has not had a steady setup that's done the same thing over and over. All right. That's the big issue. Gold, it's had gold breakouts. 4 out of 6 have been winners. But if you notice, there's lots of reversing. And there's 2 whipsaws out of the last 6. We just know for a fact that gold breakouts are extremely difficult on consumer confidence. It just for years has not been a strong breakout. It's been better as a trap, but as of late we cannot use it as a trap. And the reason why, because if you look at what's happened on the sheet that gives us information, let me just make sure that I'll tell you what. So our biggest anomaly was 85 ticks. We got 50, 40, 27. That 27 is a very small move. I'll tell you what might be interesting on consumer confidence. 85 is what we need as a zone of safety. And I think we can do that pretty easily. So I'm tempted to try a trap because for years it was a trap. And it's had some inconsistencies lately. The RTY breakout and the ES breakout are barely acceptable. This is a trade that has just not returned profits on a regular basis. And there's nothing we can really do about that. That's just the way this trade has behaved. I would probably trade MES on a breakout if I was going to do anything, just because of the way it's been behaving. Or the RTY breakout would not be a bad shot, because we find on trades that are not performing well, where the RTY moves, very often the RTY can give you a decent move on those trades. So I'm going to do things a little bit off the cuff today, because I'm going to try a gold trap, and I'll do the RTY, I'll do the ES breakout also, because that's a new setup, and in testing on the ES breakout was not bad. Let's take a look at our ES breakout testing. So it had 20 ticks of profit in July, 25 in June, only 10 in May. It's only been a good breakout for 3 months. That's the issue. It's only been good for 3 months. That's the big issue with consumer confidence. It's an inconsistent report. There's nothing we can do about it. It's by its nature been an inconsistent report. Putting a gold chart on the left, 1226. Now gold's making new lows since the open. If I want to trade a trap trade on gold, and you can use a micros on gold, click the trap trade. Position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1. We're going to trigger at 9:59:55. Our stop's 30. And I'm going to use tier 1 at 40 and tier 2 at 75. So our zone of safety is 105 ticks. I'm going to trade that in my eval. I'm going to label it trap GC, and I'll trade that eval. So apply it. Before I OK it, I'm going to put a reverse continue on that chart. Click News Trader. Click reverse continue. One position, target of 30, a stop of 30. Going to label it GC reverse continue. And the account is the eval. Apply it, and I'm going to also put the magnet on. Off, position 1 is a 1, stop of 35. Remember, we're just using the magnet for signals. All you really need to do is label it GC magnet to watch for signals. I will put it on the account I'm trading on that chart. Apply it. Now I'll turn on my trap first. Trap trade gets turned on first. Now before I do anything, I can get rid of my RTY range. I don't need it. RTY magnet. I don't really need it. I'm not going to scalp on that chart. Just to make things simple. Going to remove this. All right, so we have a couple of different setups. We've got our gold trap. All right, we've got our gold trap. Let me get the time on. Put the clock on. So the gold trap is an outside the box trade. Outside the box, okay? I'll go over it one more time. In the past, we've traded trap after trap after trap on gold on this report. Highlight the trap, double click it to turn it on. 9:59:55 is our trigger time. That's when our orders go on the chart. Stop is 30. Tier 1 is 40. Tier 2 is 75. Position 1 is a 1. Position 2 is a 1. 43 is the account I'm trading it in. That's my trap. All right. Make sure your chart trader's on the right account. That YM scalp hurt. Let's see if we can make the money back on our trap. Now on our, we have two breakouts. And I want to see if they're going to work. I only have funded accounts to trade in, but I'll trade them. I'm going to trade them. So first I'm going to turn my trap on, turn my magnet on, turn my reverse continue on for the gold chart. All right. So that chart is ready. My middle chart is now ES. ES 0926. ES is pretty choppy right now. I'll put a reverse continue on it. Change the breakout to reverse continue. One position, a target of 30, a stop of 25. And since this is a very untested setup, and it's only had 3 recent winners, and that's really what we've been doing with it, I'll trade this with MES. So I'll add a position to my reverse continue. Target will be the same,
Spot
and I'll
gold
up my
falls nearly
stops to 40
1%.
to MES, and I'll change the chart to MES. Label it MES reverse continue. And I'll trade MES in one of my funded accounts. Apply it. Okay, we're going to check our breakout in a minute. So that's our MES, MES 0926. I'm going to put the breakout on. Click strategies, highlight news trader, the breakout. 9, 59, 58. We put our orders on. The bracket's 10. Position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1. Target 1 is 10, target 2 is 25. Our stop is 25. If it hits my first target, I'll move my stop to break even. Target 1 stop move BE. Label it MES breakout. And that'll be in the same account as our reverse continue. But leave it on sim for a minute. We'll just check our brackets by putting the time on 0. All right.
So a reminder, in 10 minutes time, expecting the US CB consumer confidence forecast 90 spot 2,
Order
prior 90
submitted.
There's
spot
our
8,
brackets.
the range of
Order
92
canceled.
spot
I
9
like 'em
to
big.
88. Also expecting
Back
US
to the
new home
strategy.
sales in units forecast 0.62
Highlight the
million,
breakout.
prior 0.628 million.
9,
Richmond Fed
59,
Composite Index
58.
forecast
All
7,
right.
prior 5, and US new home sales change month on month
Put the account on the
forecast minus
account we're trading.
1.4%, prior 1.6%.
Apply it. And I'm going to just put a magnet on for watching signals. Orders are off. All right, off. You don't need to change anything. If you're just going to watch signals, just turn it off. If you don't even need to put it on an account, just label it ES, MES magnet. That's all you have to do if you want to watch signals. You don't have to do anything. Just label it and turn off. Off is the default anyway. So MES magnet, apply it. And now our ES, we'll put it on the right chart, trader. Did we put our time back? Make sure you put your time back on the breakout to 9:59:58. Chart trader goes to the account you're trading. All right, and our ES is ready. So I turn on the breakout first, then the magnet, then the reversal. Now, if you want to also test the RTY breakout, first thing I'll put a reverse continue on. RTY reverse continue. Position 1 is a 1. Target 1 is 35 and the stop is 35. Label it RTY reverse continue. Now remember, nobody except me is going to take all these trades. I'm testing our setups. And I'll do it in a funded account, 611. We traded that account this morning. Apply it. I'll add the breakout. The main trade coming from our DMM report is a breakout, 959.58. The bracket's 15. Position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1, target 1 is 10, target 2 is 25, our stop is 35, target 1 stop move goes to break even. We're going to go down and label it RTY, breakout BRK, that's fine. And we'll choose the correct account for it. But before that, let's check the bracket by setting the time to 0. No big deal, right? Set the time, not 9:59:58. We'll set it to 0 for a minute. Apply it. Make sure you're in sim on the account. Spread the chart a little bit. And we'll turn on the breakout early to look at our brackets.
Order submitted.
Okay, they're a little tight,
Order
so I'll turn
canceled.
it off and just widen it a little. And now I'll go back to the strategies, highlight the breakout, put the time to the correct activation time, 9:59, bracket of 15, target of 10, target of 25, stop of 35. Put the account on the account we're trading on. Apply it. Okay it if you're done. I always throw a magnet on every chart. Do you need to configure it? Not really. No, just make sure it's off. That's all you have to do. Make sure it's off and label it. RTY magnet. And it'll generate signals. That's all you have to do. Now I'll check that my chart trader is on the right chart. Right account. All right. Turn on my breakout first. Turn on my magnet. Turn on my reverse continue. So I'm ready with my
So around in
breakout
5
on the
minutes time, expecting
RTY.
USCB consumer confidence forecast 90 spot
I
2, prior
think on
90
the
spot 8.
MES,
US new home
the
sales
ES looks
forecast
pretty
0
darn
spot 62 million,
volatile.
prior 0 spot
I think
628
we
million.
should
US
use
new
a
home sales
slightly
change month
bigger
on month
bracket.
forecast minus 1 spot
So on
4%,
your
prior 1
MES
spot 6%,
breakout, and that's why
and
we
Richmond
label
Fed
these
Composite Index
things,
forecast 7,
MES
prior
breakout.
5.
Turn it off. Uncheck it. Uncheck it. Right click the chart, highlight the strategy button, double click it, go to the breakout and highlight it. And the bracket's 10, I'm going to make it 15. Apply it, okay it, turn it back on, and we should be good to go with a little bit bigger bracket. All right, it's pretty volatile. Now I want to see the news result if I can. There's other news this morning. New home sales could affect this trade. Absolutely. Absolutely, new home sales can have an effect on this trade. I'm watching my news. I'm watching the news off to the side. Okay? What do I mean? I have the news off to the side. Okay? So I'll see what it is. I'll hear what it is in my headset. So there's new home sales, Richmond Manufacturing, which always releases early, always. Now, the hardest trade to manage is the trap. That's over here. The breakouts, they almost manage themselves. Okay? They almost manage themselves. I'm just checking, make sure I'm on the right accounts. We've got 2 minutes. 2 minutes and change. Breakouts often happen quickly, but not always. Okay? So we've got another minute and 15 seconds. They're expecting consumer confidence to come in about 90.3. 90.3.
One minute remaining. I'll be leading with USCB consumer confidence.
Thirty-five seconds.
Ten seconds.
Brackets will show up for the trap right now.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
ES and RTY.
89 spot 4, 89 spot
Okay,
4,
the
low in
news is
forecast,
out,
90 spot
and
2.
if you notice,
US new home
there's
sales
just
units,
not
0
a
spot
response
607 million, 0 spot
on the
607
RTY.
million, lower than the
I'm
higher than
going
the
to
forecast, 0 spot
cancel
62 million.
the
US new home sales
RTY.
change month on month,
Cancel
minus
the
10 spot
RTY
5%,
by
minus 10 spot
unchecking the
5%, lower than the
checkbox.
forecast, and minus
There's no
1
response.
spot 4%.
Gold's going to fill short.
And Richmond Fed
Order
Composite
cancelled.
Index 4,
ES.
lower than the
Not
forecast
much
of 7.
response. Canceling ES.
Seeing prior revised here for
Canceling
USCB
ES.
consumer confidence 90 spot 2 compared to the original
Order
prior of
cancelled.
90
Now
spot 8.
gold, we missed the fill by 1 tick. 1 tick. 1 tick. You cannot let it fill long. You got to cancel this trade if
And
it
seeing
goes
prior
down
revised
to
for
fill
US new
long.
home sales
If it kept
0
going
spot
up
678
for a
million
fill
compared to the
short,
original
I would
prior of
let
0
it.
spot 628 million.
But we've missed the fill. Had I been just trading the trap, I would have pulled my order in
So US
like
conference
that to
boards
get
consumers
filled.
average and
I
median
would have
12-month
pulled my
inflation
order in.
expectations were
But I
slightly
was
more
watching
elevated in
all
August.
3
Most
setups.
consumers, 61.3%, still anticipated
I'm
higher interest rates over the
canceling
next 12
all
months,
setups.
down
It
moderately
just
from
didn't move enough.
62% in
It did
July.
not move enough. Trap gold should be canceled. Unless it goes up. If it keeps going up and fills short, I would let it. So I'm watching gold because gold is very negative today. If it goes up and fills short, if it gets close, I'm going to pull my order in and let it fill me short. I want a short
Order
fill.
cancelled.
I want that fill. I want that fill. I believe we're going to get a good reversal out of gold now. I'm going to cancel the outer tier if gold starts to look like it's going to hold that reversal. All right. I'm getting ready to cancel my outer tier. Cancel button. If we get a good reversal, if it goes back up, I've got my second order that could fill. But I do not think gold's
We
going
have
to get
posted
up
the
to the
USCB
stop.
Consumer Confidence August report on the
I think
feed
it's
for
going to
those
change
interested.
direction. I'm
Boston
willing
Fed's
to
Collins says inflation
see
is
if
still
I'm
too
right
high
here.
and concerned about the price stability part of the Fed's mandate.
Now, the other problem is always something, right? There's always something, always. I think that there's a Fed head talking on top of everything else. Is there? Yeah,
Fed's Collins
Collins
says
is
labour
talking
market
all of a
consistent
sudden.
with full employment and the economy is growing at a near-trend pace.
So, look, 2 minutes late, the RTY might have worked, but, or a minute late. It's not. Okay, gold, cancel the outer
Order
tier,
canceled.
get your stop to safety, expand your target down to the low or the previous low. Now, if it pops up, we'll have like a $250 profit. If it keeps going down, I'll trail. Now I trailed. I'm trying to keep it out of the way.
Order
All right.
canceled.
Still, that was about a $290 winner. Because remember, we were down from my scalp. So that was a $290 winner on the trap. Ironically, looking at that spike sheet woke me up to something that made me feel like trying the trap made sense.
A
Neither
White House official
breakout
to Al
worked,
Jazeera
but
says no
nobody
talks or
should have lost
discussions are
money
currently underway or
on this
scheduled with
trade.
Iran.
Okay? Nobody. Now you don't need your breakout. Right click, remove the RTY. Right click, remove the MES breakout. You can keep your scalps. The RTY is getting very negative this morning. It looks like a short on the RTY is appropriate.
Order
Fed's
submitted.
Collins says sharply reduced immigration and population aging
I'll take
should
a
keep labour
half
force and
test.
labour demand in balance.
Not even a test of the low. I'll just take a scalp here. If I can get my stop to safety, I'll do it.
And a White House official to Al Jazeera says the naval blockade is being
MES
enforced firmly
also
and effectively. The
very
Strait of Hormuz
negative.
is open and the mines have been removed. Collins says concerns about high prices are
No
pervasive and among
talks.
contacts in New England region.
The Strait of Hormuz is open. There's somebody who's like somebody is doesn't know how to look at the strait. There's no ships traveling through the strait. How could it be open? White House official. The Strait of Hormuz is open and the mines have been removed. I don't know about the mines. That I don't know. Consumer confidence was worse than expected. All right. New home sales worse than expected. Richmond manufacturing worse than expected.
Collins says we'll be looking for evidence in coming
All the
months that
news.
inflation is
Not
durably returning
horrifying,
to 2%.
but not good news. All right. Not good news. Trying to see if I could get a little scalp out of this RTY. I haven't had a single scalp work today. Not a one. Now, if you want to make it a very, very low risk scalp, I don't need to scalp to the PP. If it doesn't work, it's not going to work. And it doesn't appear to be
Fed's Collins
working.
says consider
Momentum is
disinflation the most
going
likely outcome
against
based
me.
on limited
So
additional
I'm not
tariffs
willing to
and
lose
progress on
very
reopening the
much
Strait
on
of
that
Hormuz.
scalp. I'm just not. My scalping's been off. If it doesn't continue down from the news, here's what's crazy. It almost went up on bad news, right? It almost went up on bad news. Then I think when that White House comment came out, no discussions with Iran, the straits closed, blockades in effect. I think that created that move down. But no matter what we try to do, we just can't seem to grab anything on the short side. So to recap, we had a nice trap trade,
Fed's Collins says current monetary
$290 winner,
policy mildly
and
restrictive.
we got out at the right time, right? Were we short? Yeah, we were short. So we got out at the right time. It wound up reversing. We were short on the trap. So that worked out. Gold wound up doing exactly what I thought it would not do. Some scalping days I make every scalp, every single trade is perfect. Today's one of those days where I can't get out of my own way.
Feds Collins says rise in longer term.
I'm just waiting on this RTY trade. I
Feds
still
Collins says rise in
think
longer
the
term
news is
interest rates should
negative.
work against a re-acceleration in demand.
The NQ, sorry, gold is pushing up. And lately, when gold's pushing up, the NQ's been pushing up. Now, I don't have the NQ chart on right now because we have an MES set up, not a gold, not a NQ. RTY is surviving, but it's going to get
And
stopped
Collins
right
says
now.
balanced labour markets and continued
Order
productivity
filled.
growth could also
So
support
I'm
a
done
gradual
scalping the
disinflation.
RTY, that's for sure. So I'm turning off my RTYs. We can get rid of those. Don't need that chart. Just watching gold and the MES. Even though the news was negative, the markets are really not all that negative from the news. It depends what happens from here. Depends what happens from here. They're certainly not dropping like a rock, that's for sure. Let's take a look at the MNQ. I'll turn off. I don't need the trap anymore. You can remove it. Turn off my gold trades. Take a look at NQ. And the NQ, before the news, almost made that fleeting new high that it never made this morning. Did it never make it even after the open? Yep. Before the NQ never made the high. Almost tested it. And it's a double magnet. R1 and the high are equal. That's usually a great opportunity. It's like a double price pull. MNQ was up well over 200 points when we first started this morning. Now it's up 150. So it has sold off quite a bit. Still pretty positive though. And then the ES is up 17 points. That's not terrible. If you look at the ES on a 15-minute chart, 6 in the morning, the ES got negative. Look at a 5-minute chart, you get a very different kind of viewpoint. It could be. 5-minute chart, ES is definitely negative. It is positive since last evening, but I'm not dying to take longs on the ES right now, not with that chart. NQ, looking at the NQ on a 15-minute chart, pretty bullish. Yes, it's pulled back, but you could say it's pulled back to the VWAP. What happens here in the next 10 minutes is probably going to make or break the NQ, right? It's broken the VWAP. If it holds, then we'll probably see more of a sell-off. Looking at a 5-minute chart, let's look at a 30 just for fun. The 30-minute chart, what do you got? A very bullish NQ and a 33% retrace. Pretty normal retrace. Looking at a 5-minute.
Feds Collins says maintaining the current policy rate will require continued evidence that inflation is falling. According to a CBS report on X, CIA Director John
Hold on.
Ratcliffe travelled to Russia. And Fed's Collins remains partially concerned about inflation.
I don't know what
Collins says
Collins
labour
is
market is
saying.
broadly balanced but with risks.
Right now, the NQ has broken the view up. I'm going to watch for 3 or 4 more minutes, folks, and then we're done for the day. Tomorrow is a much different kind of day. Tomorrow we've got another crazy report, no joke, PCE price index with GDP, with durable goods, never trades on a Wednesday. It's really strange that they're doing it on a Wednesday. And then we have our volatility gold. Market opens, crude oil, and a bunch of earnings. And maybe one of the biggest earnings of the year and one of the most difficult earnings trades. Lots of frozen orders, lots of blown accounts, and we've had $2,000 winners as well. It's a very difficult report. However, because it freezes the markets. That's its biggest problem. Data. But it also has the potential to be amazing. All right, I want to thank everyone on YouTube for joining us. Appreciate everybody. I've been thinking the MES is going to go test the low, but it's still a positive momentum. What if you wanted to just target the PP, right? Maybe you want a magnet that targets the PP. You can do that. We have the PP built in as one of our targets. Go down to the bottom, high of day off, right off, manual entry price, target PP, bring your order down to where you want your entry to be, below 80, and turn it on. And now if price goes down to our order, you're going to get a target of that PP. And that would be an automatic trade. Now you see it's popping up. Maybe you change your mind. You want to target the VWAP. Change your target to the VWAP. I would turn the button off and on. Let's see. What do you think? We're going to go to the VWAP instead? I can't imagine why these markets want to go up. I don't think this is a great trade. I want to thank everyone on YouTube. I'm going to end our stream. Hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you know when we're going to be here next. We will be here tomorrow.